Welcome back to 2CTV, your global news channel. I'm Maya Tusi, and this is your latest news update from Iran, as the Islamic Republic regime are preparing for a victory celebration at 6 p.m. local time, which will be any moment, I think, or maybe it's already started. And of course, the Iranian people are preparing their uprising. This is their the final opportunity to complete their revolution. And there's some reaction as well from the Iranian government, as they have now restarted their nuclear program. Despite the fact that President Trump and Israel basically made a massive effort over the last couple of weeks. We've gone back to square one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to get your reaction. Let's start by talking about the regime themselves. We have a reaction from King Reza Pahlavi of Iran, the leader of the opposition. First things first, earlier today, the government in Iran said that they have taken the necessary measures to ensure the continuation of the nuclear program. They've said, we have taken this method going forward to take stock of any damage that was caused by the Israeli strikes and the Americans as well. According to Mohammad Eslami, who is the head of the Atomic Energy Organization in the country, he said that their plans for restarting the facilities have been prepared in advance, and our strategy is to ensure that production and services are not disrupted. So they haven't learned their lesson. They are going to building nuclear regardless of what's been happening. And they are also organizing, but they are doing their victory celebration in Tehran as we speak. A few thousand of their supporters who are out. And meanwhile, of course, the actual Iranian people are apparently planning their uprising. But the Crown Prince, we're going to go to Crown Prince and his statement, but the Atomic Agency spokesperson in Iran also confirmed this while talking to the media earlier today.
و ریشه این صنعت رو صنعت ملی رو نمیتونن راه در بیارن و با توجه به توان و ظرفیتایی که داریم طبیعتاً این صنعت باید ادامه پیدا کنه رشدش متوقف نمیشه.
Oh, the industry will continue. They're talking about, of course, nuclear. They're saying that the centrifuges and everything else have been moved, they've been protected, they haven't been destroyed, but we don't know where they are. Regardless of that, the Crown Prince of Iran, of course, Reza Pahlavi, has released a new statement in regards to the uprising. He said yesterday that more members of the armed forces of Iran and government officials have defected to his team. They are in touch, and they've said that they will be planning to do something in Iran now, especially now that the ceasefire has started, now that the Israelis are not dropping bombs on the cities, so people can come back out there. This is where it gets very, very sensitive. Reza Pahlavi said, "My fellow compatriots, we are now moving to the final phase of our struggle. It will be hard, but the regime is weak. It is near collapse. Only we, the Iranian people, can end it. To the military, as you've given orders to lash out at the people, stand down. This is your final chance. You are being watched. We will remember who stood with the people and who committed crimes against them. To the world, do not save this corrupt, crumbling terrorist regime. At this historic moment, stand with the Iranian people. Shield them from the regime's desperate backlash. Do not prop up a regime that will soon again turn its guns, missiles, and terror towards you. Do not fear, be bold. Victory is in our hands," according to Reza Pahlavi. Now, obviously, this is it will be a very tricky move. As I always say, the Iranian people are not revolutionary people, and unless the armed forces actually do come out to lead this because they have guns, then it will be very difficult to see how the Iranians over the next few days, few hours, few days, few weeks can take control. But if there was any time in history that they could do this, it's now, because the government is all over the place. The regime themselves, the Islamic occupiers, are extremely weak. There is no proper leadership. We still haven't even heard from Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader. We don't know where he is. So this is the perfect opportunity. But can they do this, considering that they are not revolutionary? So meanwhile, the president of the United States, who yesterday said it is not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? Now, this was yesterday. And what we don't know is, I mean, nothing actually really happened between then and the moment President Trump announced the ceasefire, right? Nothing special happened. I mean, the war was continuing, the Israelis were hitting the Iranian regime. Suddenly, President Trump obviously did the ceasefire. Fair enough, okay. But the whole thing sounds like something special has happened, that the president has now completely made a U-turn. He now says, I don't want to see regime change in Iran because it creates chaos. So, again, when it comes to Trump, you have to take everything he says with a pinch of salt, never take it literally, take it seriously, but never literally. Usually says something, but then something else will happen anyway. But the U-turn is very interesting. I mean, no one knows, because if something had happened, something special happened, then it makes sense. We are just getting updates, by the way. Apparently, it's been verified that over the last few minutes, there have been explosions in the south of Tehran. And as far as we know, this is not Israel. Israel are not attacking. They did launch a few hours ago, just a limited strike. That was as a retaliation to what the Iranian regime did when they broke the ceasefire for a little bit with one missile. But we are now getting information of an explosion in the southern parts of the capital. We will keep you guys posted on that, because this could be anybody. This could be anything. Perhaps an internal conflict, perhaps the armed forces, maybe the Iranian people. We'll find out what is actually happening in Tehran. But as far as we know, this is probably unlikely to be the Israeli Defense Forces. But the Israelis, towards the end of the operation in Iran, over the last few hours, over the last day, they have made great progress towards the end, which makes no sense why they were told to stop. Let me give you some examples. For example, General Ali Reza Lotfi, who was the deputy head of Iran's intelligence organization, was eliminated by the Israelis last night, earlier this morning. We also have another successful assassination that happened. This is the IRGC themselves have confirmed that the senior leader of Basij, which is the militia group of the paramilitary group of IRGC, General Mohammad Taghi Yousefmand, has been assassinated by the Israelis as well. So two key figures have been taken out by the Israeli Defense Forces, and of course then Trump told them to stop. The Islamic Republic of Iran, as we speak, their supporters and the Islamic occupiers are out on at the Revolution Square, or Engelab Square, in Tehran, holding a victory parade against Israel and the United States. They have self-identified as winners for some reason, even though I'm not really sure how. It's like when Pakistan was hammered by India, and then Pakistan is declared victory for some reason. So it's the same tactic that is being used by the Taqiyya-loving Islamic Republic of Iran. Now we wait for the Iranian people. Now we wait for those who have been oppressed by the Islamic occupation for 46 years. The question is, can they succeed? The question is, will they be able to rise up and take control? The question is whether the armed forces who have, some of them, defected to the revolution will take control now. Well, the updates that we are hearing about the southern parts of the capital, the explosions, it's unlikely, as I said, that it is the IDF. So could this be, I mean, a lot happens in Iran in general anyway. Could this just be an accident? Could this be the internal IRGC conflict and civil war? Or could this be the revolutionaries, the anti-IRGC Iranians, taking back control of the streets? Let's get some reaction while we wait for more information about what on earth is happening in Tehran. Super chat from Carter, thank you, saying, if this victory for the Islamist, there's an extra SC, Islamist regime, I would hate to see what defeat is like for them. Yeah, that's a good point. The thing is, they would never accept defeat anyway. So even if they're all dead, they will still say we won. Salam from Malta. So everything is lost. Iran is lost again. As I said, this is the only opportunity for the Iranian people to finish their revolution, complete this uprising. But it is up to them and them alone. They admitted openly about jihad first, America first, that people will still say they are not trying to build nukes. This timeline is something else. It is interesting. It's the first time in history of humanity where a group of your enemies are telling you exactly what they want to do, and people just ignoring them. Like, it's like so weird. It's like when if Adolf had said 5 years prior to the invasion of Poland that I will definitely invade Poland on this date, and people would have said, nah, it's okay. No one would have said that. Everyone would have said, whoa, what are you doing? Why? I mean, there were still some leaders who did say that at the time, by the way, especially in the British Parliament. They were mental. Anyway, all right, Stu says, do you think the reason Trump was mad at Israel is that he thought it would kill or stop the revolutionaries? So, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, a lot of people are trying to speculate in terms of any potential 4D chess or 5D chess by Trump. You never know with this guy. I mean, anything could be happening. Maybe perhaps, I don't know. This is just my opinion on that theories, by the way. If you want to go into the rabbit hole, or perhaps the Israelis and the Americans and Reza Pahlavi have already talked with each other over the last couple of days, and they've realized the best option is for the airstrikes to stop so that the revolutionaries and those who defected to come back out, right? Perhaps. But it's usually not that straightforward. There are so many other theories that could be, or it could just be President Trump under a lot of political pressure, especially from his own party, not to come across as pro-war, which is fine. Don't lead a war, but stopping others from doing war is kind of unnecessary. But again, it will seem that the war is happening under his watch as the US president, so it could just be political pressure. Daniel says there are 200 dead Christians in Nigeria and 20 more dead in Syria this week. Rest in peace. This needs urgent attention. It can't just be ignored. And of course, Santusi TV continues to report on what happens both in Nigeria and Syria, as we have been repeatedly reporting on this channel, while the rest of the mainstream media continues to ignore it. Maybe the uprising is beginning in Tehran. Yeah, in regards to the explosion in Tehran, yeah, perhaps. I mean, it's wishful thinking, but we don't know what the explosion was. I'm trying to find out what exactly is going on right now. There doesn't seem to be they're trying to find out from our sources if they have any updates from Tehran. Now, got Neil saying, the lion shall prevail. Good luck to you and thank you. Well, thank you very, very much. Right. Okay, so the Iranian government have now ordered the reconstruction of the nuclear facilities and the IRGC bases immediately. So they're going to start from scratch. They're going to rebuild everything and aim to become strong again against the people of Iran so that they could go authoritarian. The Israelis should have never asked for us to help. They were doing great, and we scratch Fordo and then tell them to stand down, hoping the president has a plan. That's true, though. I mean, the attack on Fordo nuclear site didn't really do much in terms of the overall bigger picture. It didn't really achieve too much. It kind of scared the Iranian regime a little bit, but while they were scared, the West pulled back, saying, "Don't worry. You could do whatever you want. You could rebuild your nuclear. We're going to tell the Israelis to shut up and go away." Now, there's more reaction here. It's quite simple. Trump is upset that his big peace deal fell apart. He wants to be known as the peacemaker of the world. Yeah, but his peace deal was supposed to be with the Islamic Republic. And what's going to happen with that? Are they going to negotiate again? The United States and the Iranian regime, right? Because the Iranian regime are saying we're going to build nuclear again. The president is saying Iran will never build nuclear again. But they're going to do it anyway. So what's actually happening here? There's no deal. I hope the great Iranian people get their country back from their stone lickers. Yes. Peter says that the time is now for the Iranians to take back their peace of mind and freedom. Let's see what they do. It's up to them, really. Do you think Bahrain is under threat as they have American troops at the border? The Bahrain is always under threat. It doesn't really do much. Both Bahrain and the United States defense system in Bahrain is very strong. Nobody can destroy anything in Bahrain. Even the Iranian regime's flimsy missiles won't really do much. What's going to happen there? Tanya says, anything about Khamenei's son being killed? Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors on social media about Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the supreme leader, being eliminated. Nothing has been confirmed. Having said that, we also haven't really heard anything from the supreme leader himself. We have no idea where Ali Khamenei is. He hasn't made any statements. He hasn't even posted on X. I mean, not that he was posting it himself. His team would have been posting it. But they haven't posted in 17 hours, 16, 17 hours. Where is the supreme leader? For the love of God. Especially if they are doing a victory parade in the capital. Where is the supreme leader? It's a little bit embarrassing. Is he washing his hair? Time to rise up, Iran, free yourselves. The next few hours and few days is going to be, I can assure you, extremely dramatic in Iran. All right, anyway. Will Khamenei join IRGC in Russia, and will Trump learn that ceasefires do not work with terrorists? What I really want to know is whether IRGC, the foreign minister of Iran, has actually returned to Tehran or not. Because he went to Moscow 2-3 days ago, right? What is going on? Is he back? Is he still in Moscow? We're getting more information. There's a lot of information coming out about strikes against Israel. There's more rumors about activities in the capital. We can't verify that yet, so I'm going to find out soon. Oopsie Daisy says, Salami, Eslami, what a bunch of silly sausages. They're all dead. Vinny King says, are they asking for total annihilation of the IRGC? Who is they? If you mean the Iranians, yeah, of course. They can't. You can't live with your captors who have taken you hostage. It's just weird. Of course, they want a whole regime change and a referendum. Time to arise, citizens of Iran. Rid yourselves of this evil regime. The world is relying on you. Yeah, I mean, nobody else is helping the Iranians right now. It's up to them, right? Maya, the time has come for the Iranian people to take over. The IRGC are weaker than ever and must not be able to reassemble. Join 2CTV, everyone. How's that going to help? Much love from Canada. Thank you so much. Russia or China helping with the restart of Iran's nuclear program? Not proactively yet. I mean, China will definitely help. And yeah, I mean, Russians, at this point, both Russia and China seems like they have the green light from President Trump. President Trump has now said that China is once again allowed to buy oil from Iran, which is really weird. Nothing has actually changed. Do you remember a couple of months ago, even during the negotiations, President Trump warned everybody in the world, especially China, do not buy oil from the Islamic Republic. They are bad. And that was when they were still negotiating for a deal, diplomatic. So what's changed that now the American government is saying, China, feel free to go buy oil from the Islamic Republic and make them rich? What is actually happening here? Nobody knows what's going on. No, what? I don't know. I'm trying my best. X says, I don't trust Trump. There is an uneasy feeling here. You sound very skeptical that the Iranians will uprise. I mean, it's mostly because they haven't been successful in the past. So the only time that the Iranians managed to bring down any regime was in 79, and that wasn't the Iranians, that was the Islamic occupiers, and they were all armed, they had guns, they were shooting everybody. So like the Taliban, that's how they took control. Israel are in Trump's doghouse. But again, what we hear publicly could always be very different to behind the scenes. Let's not forget. I think the IRGC are bluffing, desperate attempt to intimidate the people from rising up. That could also be a thing. I mean, this is one of the obvious tactics that the IRGC always make, to come across as stronger than they are, so that the Iranian people will be scared to do a proper uprising. So Sarah is spot on. There are some sources reporting that the Ayatollah has been found dead. Yeah, there's no evidence about that, but we don't know where he is. He's very quiet. Every time the noose gets loosened off the regime's neck, I start to worry, praying for the revolution to succeed and fast. Yeah, I was hoping that my dad could come to my wedding in a couple of months. It seems like that's not happening anymore. Do you think the 46 years under the regime is part of the reason why the Iranian public are reluctant to start their uprising? At least 2 generations haven't known freedom. That makes no sense for the Iranian people, considering that the uprising that you've been seeing over the last few years has been led by the younger generation who didn't have freedom. They are very different culture compared to other countries. It's the younger generation who've been leading this revolution from day one over the last few years, because they say our parents and that generation in the 70s, it's their fault and we are here to correct it. So it's nothing to do with that. You know, it's the young people doing it. They're not reluctant. They're just scared because they're not revolutionary people. You shoot 2 of them, everybody runs away. This is the most confusing end of the war ever. I know, yeah. Prince's press conference the other day, extremely moving and powerful. Any relevance to history holding it in France? Well, that's a good point. His mother is there, the Queen, Queen Empress. Also, I guess France is the middle ground when it comes to diplomacy in Europe. You know, it's between the UK and the rest of Europe. I don't know. Iranians really need to stand up now and overthrow the regime. If they don't, it will be too late and we'll have another 46 years. It will be just like China. When you had in the late 80s and early 90s, the attempted revolution against the CCP. And when that failed, the CCP became stronger than ever and they went absolutely mental on everybody else. Now, let's get some reaction. Tanya says, anything about Khamenei? Oh, that's the one we saw. Sorry, guys. I consider myself a conservative and I supported Trump while holding my nose. He has done some positive things. Yep. And some ridiculous ones. Don't know what. But in his second term, he seems to be batshit crazy. I'm not really convinced. It's still a good president overall. But and also, yeah, when it comes to this situation, we still don't know what he's actually thinking. We don't know exactly what the final move is going to be, so we have to wait. Karen says, I think it's entirely possible that this is only a ceasefire. It's not the end. Yeah, don't forget, ceasefire is very different to a peace deal. This is not a peace deal. It's just a ceasefire. And there is more going on behind the scenes between Trump and, well, than we know. Patience, love your work. Yeah, Karen is right as well. Don't forget, this is just a ceasefire. It's not peace. My gut feeling tells me that El Supremo Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. For any negotiations over anything, somebody should demand proof of life. That's a good point. Yep. The people need weapons to be able to revolt, yes. And the only chance is if the armed forces have in fact defected, they have guns. And also, there's a vacuum that's being created now. Lack of presence by the supreme leader. In a few days' time, everybody's going to ask where he is. And I'm not talking about the Iranian people. I'm talking about the IRGC themselves. Their own members, their own militants are going to start asking each other, where is the supreme leader? Unless he comes back, unless he does some sort of surprise return. Hi guys, I'm here now. If he doesn't, for whatever reason, whether he's dead, whether he's disappeared, whether he's ill, whether they can't find him, he's lost somewhere, it's gonna start kicking off badly. If there is no leader, there is a massive vacuum. So unless the president knew this, President Trump and the Israelis, unless they know this since last night, right? And they know that the Iranian regime are going to keep it quiet for a little bit. They're not going to publish that the supreme leader is dead. Because if they announce it immediately, there's going to be a massive revolution. So maybe they're like, well, we can delay it as long as possible. I don't know. It's just wishful thinking. I don't have a fact for this. It's just my opinion. Carol says, Trump says, kill an American, hell will rain upon you. But when a missile kills four Israelis, Trump says, stand down. I think the stress is getting to him. I mean, that's why I say, none of this makes any sense. Even for President Trump himself, none of this makes any sense. So I'm just going to wait for the next few hours, for the next few days. I hope. Peter says, the way some people are reacting, maybe the US should have stayed home and let Israel just handle it. I thought we helped, didn't we? No, the US intervention made it worse. So, because Fordo wasn't completely destroyed anyway, the nuclear site. And by the US getting involved, it gave the United States more power to tell Israel to stop. Because America became a target. Reza Pahlavi stopped following Trump on X. It seems like he understands the world is again throwing the Iranians on the bus. I believe, let me just double check this. Reza Pahlavi follows 75 people. No, President Trump is still there. I'm going to send a screenshot to you guys so you can see. This is... No, he's still following him. I'm going to show. I think there might have been some rumors on social media about this, but there we go. This is Reza Pahlavi's account, and the verified followers that he's following. Donald J. Trump is there on the list. So that's just a rumor. It's not real. People are probably talking nonsense on social media. Donald says Israel is waiting for all the IRGC to come out, then take them all out. That's also unlikely. Again, you never know, but that's also unlikely, mostly because it will be a bad look for Israel. It will be a very bad look compared to anything else. When it comes to countries and governments deceiving each other and tricking each other, this will be inhumane. Also, you can't, because when it comes to the victory celebrations, there will be a lot of civilians there, family members. And Israel never does that. When we had the Houthis gathering in Yemen, all of them, Israel never hits them. When it came to Hezbollah doing massive rallies or funerals, Israel never hits them because there's a lot of civilians and family members there. It's against the Israeli morality. Now, what is going on now? Things are happening, kicking off again, as usual. The president, Pezeshkian in Iran, says Tehran is prepared to talk and defend the rights of the Iranian people at the negotiating table. So we just got back to square one. What is the point? What was the point of the whole military intervention then? Well, didn't know about allowing China to buy oil. Yeah, the Israelis messed up by asking for our help. Can't stand America looking weak like this. Yeah, I mean, at this point, if it is what it is, the way it looks, yeah, America obviously seems weak. But if it's some sort of 4D chess move that we're going to get surprised again, then that means that the president is a genius. Just wait. Peter, thank you. Israel disrupted the status quo and undeclared Cold War between the Shia powers and Sunni powers and tipped the scales. Saudi is the biggest winner. Oh yeah, of course. Saudi, they're just loving it. Absolutely loving it. Okay. More things are happening, for the love of God. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on with the members of 2CTV Plus. Do we have anything? Iranians really need to stand up now. Yeah. The environment isn't really designed to contain chaotic China spinning out on energy deprivation withdrawal symptoms. That's a good point. Things will kick off if China's not happy. Trump needs to back away now and let the Iranian people do what needs to be done. Yeah. Who is running the government in Iran? If the top people are in the bunker, can't the military and people take command? But that's the idea, right? That's what everybody is hoping. Can they? We don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out what's going on. Don't forget, we have our New Media Revolution. We've got the New Media Conference 2025 on the 9th of August in central London. Go on 2cevents.tv to find out more information. The link is also under this video in the description box. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.